So here's an update. Last video I did, I was telling y'all YouTubers how tired I was of building stuff. I'm not a builder. It's not really the way I want to spend my days. And like most things, I think it's going to take me far less time than it really does. Anyway, hanging out with Rue here. Just gave him a little bit of fresh grass. Put some ice in their water. It's about 92 degrees today. Pretty hot. And worked on the chicken run for most of the morning. Got the post set and the foam stuff. Got a 2-foot span there that hardware wire is going to be hung on. And feel a lot of pressure to finish this thing. The chicken run. I mean, the coop isn't done. I got to put the roof on still and make the nesting boxes and some trim. But they're safe in there at night. Where they're not safe is in this makeshift run. Notice there's just Rue and Mary Poopins in there. Fancy Pants was murdered by the neighbor's dog over yonder. He busted down that gate over there. The hinges were loose, and he's a big enough dog that he just was able to push through and broke the hinges right off. My neighbor Dan over there, he became apprised of the situation because Mary Poopins, spanning back over, flew into his window. And his wife said, Dan, a bird just flew into our window, I think. And so he looked out and he thought Mary Poopins was a dove. But then he saw the dog. And he knew something was up. I'm going to move over here. Out of the sun, it's hot. I think it's like 95 degrees today in the Pacific Northwest. Whew, killer for us. We're not used to that. But it's getting hotter and hotter every year. Anyway, back to my story. So, Poopy Pants flew into their window over yonder, and Dan saw the dog. And Dan, being the smart man that he is, knew that something was up. And so he came over to my house and investigated. Mary Poopins flew back over to the coop, but Dan saw Fancy Pants outside of the coop, somewhere around here. Still see her feathers. That's where the murder took place. And so anyway, Fancy Pants was out here, outside of the makeshift run that I had made. And she was wounded. Badly, I could tell. I called my Homestead homie, Teresa. She came right over. We tried to doctor her with some stuff, and she died overnight. Anyway, that was sad. So, Dan came over to my house after I got home from work. This happened like 15 minutes before I got home from work. And Dan came over and was banging on my door. I was trying to check on my chicks in the house, and I, of course, went and got to the door because he was just like frantically banging on my door. And he said, one of your chickens is really injured bad. The neighbor's dog got into your run. got into your fenced yard. And of course my first reaction was, oh no. Anyway, I came out here and found her wounded. Called my friend, and I went back into my house and to change my clothes out of my work clothes. And as I was changing my clothes, Rue was making a ruckus, and I heard a dog barking. And the dog was out here again, trying to get through the gate. Well, Dan, neighbor over there, he fixed my gate. He came over here when he recognized what was happening, saw I wasn't home. He took my gate and he put new hinges and a new lock on it. Not new, I mean, it's what he had laying around. And those silver ones are what he put on there. And that one. Latch. And the dog was at my gate. He couldn't get through. Yeah, so the dog's still around. It's been back. I was very angry that day and thought, well, the guy has a responsibility to take care of his dog. This is not wild country here. This is it's kind of a neighborhood. I mean, we got a lot of property, we each do, but we're neighbors, and he needs to take care of his dog and keep it secure. I have guns, but I since bought a BB gun, which has always been, I never bothered with BB guns. 20 gauge shotgun would be handy. But I got a BB gun, and I'm ready to at least shoot the dog with some BBs to scare it off. The dog's been back since, and the neighbor, has lost the dog once, and my suggestion was that he find his dog before I do. So anywho, back to my story. Hence the pressure to get the chicken run done, at least this part of it. I'm making it here, so here's the door. I'm making it so I can expand it this way. This has been kind of an emergent situation to keep that dog out, because the dog keeps coming back, so it knows that it really enjoys chicken hunting, even though they're in a coop. And I really want the run to come out, but there's a fence right here. It's old and it needs to be replaced, but the emergent thing right now is getting the run done, and then I'll move the fence out. I went ahead and have a post hole dug over there, and do that. And so I'm going to get the run done. Super hot today. I could only work a few hours in the morning. I had to take a break in the mid-afternoon because it's super hot. And now the shade's going to start coming down on this side, and I'll be able to get back out here. And the next step here is to hang the hardware cloth on these 2-foot spans. I need some more lumber because I need to make, or wider hardware cloth, I don't know. Probably just lumber, and use the 2-foot hardware cloth. And then of course, the roof has to be hardware clothed. I built this beautiful sturdy coop, they can go underneath it and everything, and I thought I was doing everything to protect them. I accounted for nighttime predators. I have coyotes right behind my house, right there. Sirens go off, you can hear them full blast. And they're probably often hungry. Anyway, and of course there's raccoons, possums, and everything here that want to kill chickens. You know, so they're safe at night. And I built, even though this is a makeshift and it was a temporary run, I built it so aerial predators couldn't get to them, which there's a zillion. I got hawks and eagles and every flying thing that wants to kill chickens too. What I didn't account for, though, was a domesticated pet. Somebody's pet. Somebody's dog coming over here. And I think it has a little Roddy in it. You know, it's a nice dog. It's a nice looking dog. I wish... Anyway, yeah, it was big enough to bust through that broken gate. And so it's my responsibility to keep the chickens safe now that I know that predator dog is out, or can be out and about. He keeps escaping from the neighbor's yard. So my responsibility is to keep my chickens safe. And so that's what I aim to do. That's what I'm doing. So we'll get back to it. Use these 4x4s, and I sunk them in foam. See the foam? It's this really cool post-it and post-fix stuff. It's not holding a lot of weight. It's not doing a lot of things, so it doesn't need to be in concrete. And this foam is a lot easier to dig out with if you ever need to move the posts for any reason, if you need to change the posts out. And then I did my standard, let's see, burning of the wood. This is just dimensional lumber that I use my weed torch to. I'm trying to get in here so you can, I'm not getting a big glare. Use my weed torch to, you know, burn it a little bit so the natural sugars come out, and actually preserves the wood, from my understanding. So I did that. So won't need to be changed. And so, yeah, that's what I'm doing. Anyway, hot day here in the Pacific Northwest. Hope everybody's doing well. This is Deb with Simple Grower. Take good care.